Imagine a nightmare that doesn't just fight back, but actually feeds on your attempt to destroy it. A biological paradox where every strike makes your enemy twice as strong. Most monsters want you dead, but the Lernaean Hydra wanted to evolve through your struggle, turning its blackened blood into a lethal legacy. We aren't just talking about a swamp snake, we're talking about an ancient bioweapon that eventually brought down the greatest hero in human history. If you think you've heard the story of Hercules, you're missing the terrifying truth of the one head that refused to stay buried. Stick around, because we're dissecting the anatomy of a legend that still haunts our modern world. I'm your host for Preyo Tidings, and today we're descending into the toxic mists of Lerna to face the ultimate regenerator. This is the raw cinematic history of the Hydra, the beast that turned a hero's victory into a slow-burn death sentence. The air in the Peloponnese didn't just smell like salt, it smelled like rot, a heavy, sulfurous stench that clung to the lungs of anyone brave enough to approach the marshes. Lerna wasn't just a swamp, it was a geographical scar, a place where the earth felt cursed and the water moved with a sickening, oily sluggishness. Deep within this aquatic wasteland lived the daughter of Typhon and Echidna, a creature born from the literal DNA of primordial chaos. She wasn't just a serpent, she was a multi-headed manifestation of nature's spite, guarding the entrance to the underworld with ruthless efficiency. The locals didn't just fear her, they treated her like a natural disaster, a storm that breathed poison instead of wind. The moment Hercules stepped into the muck of Lerna, the stakes shifted from a physical brawl to a psychological chess match. He drew his sword, a blade forged for legends, but the Hydra didn't flinch because she knew the secret of her own terrifying biology. Every time a blade swung and a head hit the mud, the stump didn't just bleed, it pulsed with a frantic, supernatural cellular regeneration. Before the blood could even cool, two new heads erupted from the wound, snapping and hissing with twice the fury of the original. It was a geometric nightmare. One head became two, two became four, four became eight, until the horizon was nothing but snapping jaws. Hercules realized he couldn't do this alone, which was a massive blow to his ego, but a necessary step for his survival. He called upon Iolaus, his nephew and charioteer, who brought something much more effective than a sword, the primal power of fire. This turned the battle from a slaughter into a surgical operation, a coordinated strike between muscle and flame. As Hercules locked off a head, Iolaus was right there with a glowing torch, searing the raw flesh and cauterizing the wound. By burning the stumps, they stopped the regeneration in its tracks, preventing the 2-for-1 biological upgrade from triggering. Even after the other heads were charred husks, the central immortal head continued to snap, its eyes glowing with a hateful ancient light. Hercules couldn't kill it. It was literally woven into the fabric of the universe's darker side, so he had to settle for a permanent containment. He sliced it off, but the head kept hissing, so he buried it deep under a massive rock on the road to Iolaus. He thought he had won, but the Hydra's revenge was already flowing through his veins, not literally, but strategically. Before he left, Hercules dipped his arrows into the Hydra's blackened, acidic blood, creating the most lethal projectiles in existence. To understand why the Hydra was so powerful, you have to look at her faction, the children of Typhon, the group that waged war against the Olympian gods. This wasn't just a random monster, she was a soldier in an ancient insurgency against the order established by Zeus and his siblings. The Hydra's team included the Nemean lion, the Chimera, and Cerberus, a family of biological terrorists designed to overthrow the divine status quo. When Hercules fought the Hydra, he wasn't just doing a chore, he was acting as a counterinsurgency agent for the heavens. If this deep dive into the Hydra's toxic legacy is blowing your mind, hit that subscribe button right now and join the Preyo Tidings family.
We are uncovering the dark truths of history every week, and you don't want to miss our next investigation. Smash the like button to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. Let's see if we can grow this channel faster than a Hydra. Drop a comment below. Which Greek monster do you think is actually the deadliest?
Fast forward years later, and the Hydra gets the last laugh in a way no one saw coming, proving that her power wasn't just in her heads. Hercules used those poison arrows to kill the centaur Nessus, who had tried to kidnap his wife Deianira. In his dying breath, Nessus, soaked in the Hydra-poisoned blood, tricked Deianira into keeping his tunic as a love charm. Years later, she gave him the tunic, thinking it would restore his devotion. As soon as the fabric touched his skin, the Hydra's venom, still potent after all those years, began to burn through his flesh. It wasn't a quick death. It was an agonizing, screaming descent into madness as the poison that killed the beast now claimed the man. Today, the Hydra is more than a myth. It's a term used in everything from cybersecurity to political science. When we talk about Hydra-headed problems, we're talking about terrorism, drug cartels, or internet misinformation. You shut down one server and 2 more pop up. You arrest one leader and the cell divides into 2 more aggressive factions. The power of the Hydra is the power of the decentralized network. It has no single point of failure. If you want to defeat a Hydra today, you can't just use a sword. You have to change the environment that allows it to grow. The story of the Hydra isn't just a fable. It's a warning about the unintended consequences of our own battles. Hercules won the war, but lost his life to the very poison he tried to master. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Preyo Tidings as we explored the mists of Lerna and the sting of ancient venom. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and remember, some problems only get bigger when you try to cut them down. I'm signing off for now, but I'll see you in the next one for more legendary revelations.